think we're live. All right, so once again, thank you for joining. My name is Oladipupo Clement. I'm a trusted wealth expert, as well as in real estate and business growth. I'm very passionate about seeing people create wealth. So making the money, managing the money, and multiplying the money is really what I do, and helping people to achieve as well. So thank you for taking time to be part of this, and congratulations. One of the gentlemen I relate with, consultant also, he said, don't just be thanking people for attending your program, congratulate them that they attended the program. And the reason for that is simple. You are going to derive a lot of value from what we're doing here. I just came out of a 4-hour intensive, coaching, I would call it, and it was very, very intensive, very, very intensive, and very, 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 very impactful, and very, very inspiring. I'm never going to give up on my commitment to personal development. It was a fee-based program, and even though it came at a cost, the value I derive from that program is way, 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 way more than whatever it is that I paid. And I'm glad I made it. And that was actually what disrupted my flow. And that's why we actually rescheduled the program. I could not afford to miss out there. I also didn't want you all to miss out. Otherwise, I could have also postponed the program. Okay, so thank you very much once again, and congratulations for joining. Quick announcement I need to make here. Number one is about the book, Financial Freedom Master Guide. If you don't have it, that's actually the manual for the Wealth Unleashed webinars that we are hosting every weekend till further notice. And I would recommend and encourage that you take full advantage of that material. If you have it but have not read it, I would encourage you to go back to it. That's number one. And so if you need to order, if you live in Nigeria, I would recommend you call the number 0708-797 to order for that number. And just like Victoria already announced, you will do well to reach out to her. And then if you order in Nigeria, you get delivery for free, okay, anywhere in Nigeria. If you live outside Nigeria, then I would recommend you go on Amazon.com and then take advantage of that opportunity to be shipped down. The only difference is that you have to pay for shipments, okay? So that's number two. Number three is that if you are not following me on any of our social media platforms, you will do well also to follow me on all those platforms. The reason is because many of the things that I will do in the coming weeks, in the coming months, that's somewhere the first point of call, apart from the fact that you're already in the database. So it would be nice to follow, and then you see some of the things that I do. Some of the things I'm going to be sharing are practical things I'm demonstrating also on those platforms. So it would be nice to follow me, particularly following me on my YouTube. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. Every Saturday by 9 p.m. West African time, we post on that platform. And then I think every Thursday now we'll be posting some other content. Number four, every Wednesday, I host what I call the Bible Sense for Living, our weekly guide for winning in life and business. So if you do not, if you always miss that session, I would encourage don't miss it, because I teach specifically from the Bible. And right now we're looking at how to develop a life plan. I've said it time and again, having a financial plan is good, having a family plan is good, having a business plan is good, but a more superior plan is having a life plan, because it is more holistic and it captures everything. And then we look at it from God's word, how you can develop a life plan. So do well to take advantage of that. So that one is usually on IGTV. So every Wednesday, 12 noon EST and 7 a.m. EST, 12 noon West African time, and then 7 a.m. EST is the time for that. So I would encourage we do the very best we can to be a part of that. And finally for today, the final announcement I would love to make is a couple of months back, I reached out to just a few friends and said to them, oh, we're doing this development and I would love for us to acquire a unit of a property. somewhere in Bagada together as a team. And then the plan is twofold. One is either we sell it and make our profits, within a 12-month to 18-month period, we can sell it. And so one person may not be able to afford to buy that property. Is right there in the heart of Bagada, and it's very strategic. So as I was preparing for this this week that is running up, preparing for this particular program, it occurred to me that I've never had to mention that, here before, and never share that with the rest of you. And since we have all become a family, it won't be out of place. So it is an OC and friend initiative. It's more or less a co-ownership platform where we basically come together, team up together, we contribute, and then it's ₦1 million per unit of that development. The property itself currently sells for 110 million for a 0 to 6 month payment plan. A 12-month payment plan sells for 129 million, and then a 10-month payment plan sells for 149 million. Now, guess what? Those of my friends and I that joined a few months ago, we've already locked down that offer at the old price, which is a major advantage for those of us who will be coming on board. So we'll be leveraging on the fact that we have all already locked down that offer. So what I want to suggest we do right now, if you are interested, so please, you are not under obligation, please, you're not under obligation, but I always like to make things very, very clear. It's ₦1 million per unit, and then you can buy as many units as you can afford. Now, we still have about 88 or 90 million, 88 million thereabouts or so to go. A number of us are still going to be buying more, but if you want to lock down that offer, lock it down as quickly as possible. So we are buying it, the payment plan, we are paying at 100 million. So we just need 100 units, to be purchased. And once that is done, we're good. The plan is that upon completion of that project, we sell it and then we share profits. We share our capital back and then profits. Okay. And then, of course, if we have other new opportunities, we can also extend it to the rest of us. So if you are interested, there's a form you will need to fill. So you reach out to my executive assistant on 0708-797-0441. So wherever you are anywhere in the world, you can take advantage of the opportunity. All transactions is strictly in Naira, please, strictly in Naira. So now, if you have 1 million and you think you would have loved to buy more, we still have an opportunity. At the time we did it, we now have like maybe 7 months or so, 6 months, to go. So if you can still buy more later on, if there's still space, if there's still room for you. So I felt I should mention that so that we don't miss out, because this is Wealth Unleashed webinar. It's not just about hearing, it's also about doing. All right. And it's not what you know that counts, it's what you do with what you know that really counts. So I felt I should extend that opportunity. And then if you know anyone who you think may be interested, then refer them to this platform. So let them reach out. And then if they need further explanation, I'll be very, very delighted to make that known to them. So 1 million naira per unit doesn't necessarily mean that they should only do 1 million naira. They could do as many as they can afford. If you invest 10 million naira, we are projecting that we will sell that property not less than 150 million, upon completion, right? So, which means that whatever money we are investing, we are projecting minimum of 50%. So even if we are going to pay commissions, transaction fees for selling the property, we'll still make not less than 40% on that particular transaction. So, which is still a very good deal, within a 12-month to 18-month period. So, if it's something that you will be interested in, take advantage of that. So reach out to that number, please. This is not, now the project is a project of LifePage, but this is OC and friends. Please take note of that so that there will be no confusion. You are not buying, if you can buy from LifePage is not doing that. So if you want to buy LifePage, you can go directly and buy at the current rates, all right? But this is just an opportunity. It's just one unit of the 4-bedroom duplex that we're taking advantage of. And I just thought about that a few months ago, and I reached out to a few friends, and they should take advantage of it. So that would be all on that. So let's get right into this. Last week, we talked about poverty does not kill. It is the emotion of poverty that kills. And please, if you have not watched the replay of that last session of last week, my dear, please go and watch it. Sometimes, let me say this, let me admit and let me submit here that when I'm speaking, I hardly think I'm making sense. That's the honest truth. Sometimes I feel like everybody should know this. Everybody knows it. There's nothing I'm saying that is new. So sometimes I feel like I'm not saying so much. I'm not making much of sense. And I'm being honest here and I'm being vulnerable. And I hope that is okay. If you can hear me loud and clear, please type 10, please. Just type 10 just to be sure that we all can hear me. You know, so because of that, I rarely go and listen to my past videos. I rarely. And when I do, it is because maybe I'm just inspired to do so. So earlier of this morning, I decided to just go listen to that video. My goodness. My goodness. I was amazed at the depth and the stories and the my goodness, just if you have not watched it, I would recommend you watch it. In fact, I had to share it with some of our community members. And the reason I did that was because I wanted other people to join tonight. But I didn't want you to join without first drawing from or watching that replay, because whatever it is I'm going to share is the antidote to the problems we identified last week. So last week we looked at the 7 emotions of poverty, and I made mention of the fact that today I was going to talk about the cure to those killer emotions. So that's what I want to look at today, the killer emotions of poverty, or the emotions of poverty that kills. So how do we cure those emotions? And I've got quite a few thoughts here to share. So please, if you're ready, say I'm ready. Yes, someone is asking, where can we watch the last week program? It's on my YouTube channel. It's already on my YouTube channel. What we're doing right now is also streaming live on YouTube. So you will do well to go subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on the notification button, and then also feel free to comment on the YouTube channel on those videos. Also feel free to share those videos as well. Most of the content we put out there are valuable content, I believe. Sometimes I read my books, I listen to myself, and I'm thinking, boy, where did that one come from? Because it was not premeditated. So, so let's get right into this. How to cure these killer emotions of poverty, or the emotions of poverty that we need to cure. So, one thing I said last week that is very profound that you also need to go pay attention to is the fact that emotions make great impressions on our subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind is actually the seat of decision making, is the seat of all behaviors. Many of the behaviors, many of the things we do are rooted in our subconscious mind. I did mention, and a video will be dropping later tonight on my YouTube channel also, on the power of the subconscious mind. I can't remember the title now, but it's about the subconscious mind. But again, please take note of this. Take note of what I'm about to say. The language that impresses most significantly on your subconscious mind is the language of emotion. Unfortunately, what regulates the emotion that we have used to regulate or program our subconscious mind has been largely negative and unhealthy. So when we want to program it positively, we now use the casual thoughts or casual words. We don't speak feelingly. We don't quote our words with emotions. So when we are doing something positive, we don't quote our words with emotions. But when we are doing something negative, when we are speaking words that are negative, right? we coat it with negative emotions and wonder why it's producing results on the other hand, but not producing results. So what I wrote down here is that whoever regulates your emotion, regulates your money flow. And it is the plain truth. So, and that's why most of the affirmations I've written down for people to also articulate from time to time are things that I've said time and again that you should express, articulate, verbalize it feelingly. And I repeat that again, you verbalize it feelingly. Okay, so let's quickly look at 5 ways by which you're going to cure these killer emotions. Number one, recognize that what defines you is not outside you, but inside you. That understanding is very, very, very critical. What defines you is not outside you, but inside you. It is not what you possess, but what possesses you that is more important. So I said it time and again, if you take everything I've got materially, what produced it is still there. So my identity is not tied to the things I possess. It's tied to, more importantly, to what possesses me. And that's what matters. That's what matters. And that's why I can say this. And the truth of the matter is you are very, very valuable. If you have a car, it means you have what it takes to have produced, to have acquired the car in the first instance, right? And that is what is most critical. And then whether or not you have a car, it's not the root of your self-identity, okay? So this is very important in curing these killer emotions, because a lot of times, particularly if you operate in a deprived environment like Nigeria, where most of us have grown up, you realize that a lot of people define success by material substance only. They define their success, by their fame, by the name, and by the money game they play, and all of that. In fact, in some quarters, some people even define their success by the number of women they control, how many wives or how many concubines they have. Some people define their success by the power, the wealth, the influence they have, and all of those things. But you see, all of that should be rooted in who you really are. And so recognize that what defines you is not outside you, but inside you. Don't ever forget that. And that's where you should focus your energy, focus your development. You see, all this money game, you want to become wealthy, you want to achieve financial freedom. The emphasis for me is about you becoming a superior version of yourself. And when you know that, you will know that, well, what defines you is not really outside you. Okay, because the source of most people's negative emotions, like the despair, depression, and some of the things we looked at last week, is rooted in most of the things that they can see outside of them, not necessarily in who they are. And you are more powerful, more capable. You're actually richer than you think. And if you've never had that said to you before, you are more powerful, more intelligent, you are smarter, you are richer, actually richer than you think. And that's why it is said that the greatest resource on planet Earth today is human resource. And the wealthiest place on Earth today is not the diamond, the mining place for diamond of South Africa. It's not the oil rig of Port Harcourt. It is actually the grave, because many talents die, many people go to the grave, with their potential not fully realized. So please take note of that. What defines you is not outside you, but inside you. Number 2, recognize that there are things you can control, and there are things that are not within your control. And this is one of the most powerful realizations for me. It has eliminated competition. It has eliminated anxiety for me, envy. I don't have my life is so simple. What you have does not intimidate me. Because I also recognize there are things I have power to control, and there are other things I do not have the power to control. So my energy, my time, I focus it on the things I have power to control. In fact, when I'm developing a plan on setting goals, I set goals based on the things I have power to control. When I'm drawing up my agenda for the week, drawing up my agenda for the next following year, it's premised on what I have power control. So focus on what you can control and hand over what you can't control to your creator in the place of prayer. Are you getting what I'm talking about? If you can still hear me, please type 10, just to be sure that you can still hear me. Type 10. This is so important. Listen, one of the things I have come to realize is that the moment you focus on the things you can control, even the things you have no power to control eventually begins to align. And that's the way things go. They begin to align. Let me be honest with you. Let me be honest with you, like we say in Nigeria. It does not matter how highly placed you have areas of inadequacies. And everyone who you admire today, they still have areas of inadequacies. But they've learned to focus on what they have to create what they do not have. They've learned to focus on the things they have power to control. And then they leave the rest to powers that be or powers that control other things. Okay? I was having a conversation with my mentor a while back, not too long ago, and we're just discussing this issue around planning and everything. And I said, how is he coordinating so many things? I'm involved in several organizations that we report to him. And sometimes I feel like, how is this man able to still reply emails? He reply text messages, he reply. And I said, how do you do it? And sometimes those of us who even show so much concern, he will tell us, I rest more than all of you put together. That he still creates time to rest. And I'm thinking to myself, boy. And one of his greatest secrets is the fact that he said when he's drawing up his plan for 2024 is, in fact, 2025 is already choked. He said, whenever he's drawing his plan, he focuses on the things. So he doesn't use other people's calendar. He uses his own calendar. He uses his own plan. He fixes what works for him. He sticks with what is within his control. He doesn't use what other people have power to control. He uses what he has power to control. And that was life-changing for me. Very life-changing. So recognize that there are things. The reason a lot of people have negative emotions and they feel other people are more successful than they are, because we are focusing on what they have power to control. Focus on what you can control. That's why you are full of envy, jealousy. Once somebody pull up something, a new picture on social media, you feel like, man, this person has arrived. Who told you have not arrived or you are not making progress? Okay, like I shared on Wednesday, you don't judge your growth or success based on other people's plan. You judge your own success based on your personal plan. This is so important. So focus on the things you have power to control, and then dedicate a place of prayer for transferring and handing over things you have no power to control to your creator. Number 3, have a clear and simple plan as well as purpose. Now, let me quickly make this very clear. Have a clear and simple plan as well as purpose. Please and please run your race and let no one beat your definition of success. This is very, very, very important. Run your race and don't use other people's progress to define your success. Let me tell you something. I can tell you for free, and I tell you based on personal experience and based on my studies and my interaction with people, success is not really what you have achieved, though. Success is what you have achieved compared to what you could have achieved. So if the parameter for measuring success is based on what you have achieved, you are a liar. You deceive yourself. The truest parameter for measuring success is against your capacity, against what you have the potential to achieve. So if you are the man or woman with 2 talents, right? We should measure your success based on the 2 talents that was given. If you are a man or woman with 1 talent, we should measure your success, right, against your 1 talent. But if you are a man with 5 talents and you are using 3, you are still a failure. Because if you measure your success based on the man with 1 talent or 2, you may appear before everybody else as successful, but according to the scheme of things, you are a failure. Okay? And this is very, very important. So have a clear plan, a clear and simple plan, as well as purpose. So run your race and let no one be your definition of success. Then, like I said, plan based on what you can control. Plan based on what you can control, and whatever it is you can't control, like I said before, will all fall into place. It's just a matter of time. Someone said, dream as fast as you can dream. When you get there, you dream further. Another person says, I may not be able to see 2,000 miles away from here, but if I can know my next step, that's enough. Your next step is what you should plan. If that's all you can figure out right now, that is what it is. All right? That is what it is. Number four, focus and enjoy your process and not just the outcome. And this is one of the most things that will deliver you from anxiety, all these emotions of poverty. Focus on the process, focus on the journey, not just the outcome. One of the reasons why a lot of people are anxious and sometimes envious, and jealous of other people's progress most times is because you've seen what the person has become tangibly, but you are not aware of their story. You are not aware of their process. For some of the people you are envious of, they've been on that journey for 20 years, some people 30 years, some people 40 years. Recently, my mentor was talking about the fact that he will be 34 years in ministry next month. Now, whatever he has become today, it didn't happen overnight. It took a process. Now, why is this so important? If you don't rejoice and get excited about your process, you start envying, you start, getting worked up with the outcomes of other people. This is so important. You are not in total control. And this is one of the critical things you must bear in mind. You are not in total control of your outcome, but you are in control of your input. You are not in total control of your outcome, but you are in total control of your input. So focus on that one, right? Focus on that one. I came to see a big brother, another side of town. And by the time I got there, it was very late. And they offered me food. They prepared something sumptuous. And I said, no, I'm working on my health. I was not going to eat at that late hour to bed. Never. I won't try it. I won't try it. Many people have bad breath, right? Bad breath because they suffer a lot from indigestion. So when you eat late, apart from the fact that many men too now are now growing pot belly, and you think it is sign of growth, it's sign of riches. No, it's sign of sickness that is festering without you knowing. So I said I was not going to eat. They said, okay, why not take this? I said, no, sir, this is my house too now. So there's no point. I don't need to be persuaded to eat. We eat to live. We don't live to eat. So the power I have is to choose what I eat and to choose when I eat it. Okay? To choose what I eat and choose when I eat it. So you have power to control your input. You don't have power over the outcome. Guess what? The creator is the one that determines the outcome, the magnitude of the outcome, and the timing of the outcome. You just focus. When your time of showing manifests, when your time of growth manifests, every tree that we see today, right, they first grow downward before they grow upward. You see that period of growing downward, if you understand what I just said now, focus on your process, right? You focus and rejoice and enjoy that process, and not just the outcome, you will realize that it gives you a lot of comfort, gives you a lot of peace of mind. If you take a bike, take Uber or take Taxify or take whatever it is, or you trek, it's not anything to be ashamed of. It's a process. It's a process. So focus and enjoy your process and not just the outcome. Number 5, finally, be grateful and celebrate every little wins. This is very, very key. Be grateful and celebrate every little wins. Let nothing steal your joy, please, my people. Whatever steals your joy stifles your growth. Happiness is a function of what is happening. So happiness is circumstantial. But joy is based on an understanding that I am in a journey. So celebrate little wins. You set a target to make 1 billion in your business, in your new business, in the first 5 years. But now you have done the business for 10 years, you have not even seen 500 million. What of the first customer is something to celebrate about? I remember our first customer in Life Page, for example. Celebrate. These are the things that will cure. Music is very powerful. Joy, excitement. You focus so much on what is not working in your life, so much so that you are now blind to everything that is working. And you know the unfortunate thing, you even by your own hand ruin everything that is working. If you look closely into your life, you see the things that are working. To cure these negative emotions, particularly the emotions of poverty, my dear brothers and sisters, let me advise. Learn to rejoice. Learn to show excitement. Celebrate little progress. You set a target for 1 million, you made 100,000. Celebrate God for it. And celebrate with people. This is so, so important. If you want to cure, learn to dance and rejoice. Sometimes you may say, oh, it's easy for him to say now. Do you know that the higher you rise, the greater your downfall? The greater the battles and the obstacles you need to confront? Do you realize that? So if you don't celebrate little wins, number one, it's not going to be an encouragement to you, and it's not also going to encourage your team or whoever is within your network to perform better next time. So let's learn to celebrate little wins. Negative emotions only take things from bad to worse. So the way to correct it is showing gratitude vertically and gratitude horizontally. Gratitude to your creator, gratitude to people around you. Nobody owes you anything, and it is not your right that you are still alive. It's a privilege. So learn to celebrate that. Look closely. If see, let me tell you this. No matter how bad things get, God will not allow you to come to a point in your life where you have nothing with which you can rebuild. And that is worth celebrating. And guess what? Even if it is just your life, and that's even the foundation for everything else. God will never allow, no matter how horrible things get for you, or whoever you know, God will never allow you to come to a point where you have nothing left with which you can rebuild. So I want to sincerely plead with you all, to learn to be grateful, show gratitude, practice gratitude, right? And celebrate every little win. Okay? And the more you do that, the more you cure the emotional poverty. Do these 5 things, you cure the emotions of poverty and any negative. In fact, become very aware of how these emotions, enter. So once you start feeling a particular way, you remind yourself that no, it will move things from bad to worse. If it's already bad, worrying about it won't change it, will only make it worse. So you take away your gaze from the problem. You take it and focus on the things that work in your life. Like someone said, you can view the cup half full, and you can view it half empty. If you focus on the emptiness, emptiness you will continue to experience. And if you focus on the fullness, and that's what you continue to experience. So celebrate what is full in your life. Celebrate what is working in your life. Be grateful for it. Okay? I think that will be all for now. Let's take questions if you have any. Thank you very much, everyone. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat room.